A big shout out goes to Squarespace for their continued support of this channel. If you're looking into making a new website, then why not head over to squarespace.com. So once again, the clouds have kind of moved in, but to be honest with you, I think these scenes work better in flat light. I took some images this morning with a bit of backlighting, and they didn't turn out as good as I thought. I think I like the flat light, the low contrast. The colors just look so much more pastel-y. This scene in front of me is, again, absolutely stunning. We have a group of aspen in full color, and of course they're surrounded by water. It's been flooded, and the color of the water is just beautiful. So it's this turquoise blue again, and then I found this little tiny aspen with a bit of full color on it, so I'm just kind of isolating that. What I'm going to do for this shot, though, because there is a little bit of wind, is take a shot with a faster shutter speed for the leaves, and then I have another shot with an ND filter, a 10-stop ND filter. So I've brought it down to about 3 or 4 seconds so that I can blur that water just a little bit, because the way it is now, we're getting reflections from the sky, so there's a lot of specular white in there. It's a little bit distracting when it's sharp, but I think when it's blurry, it works. So I'll show you the scene in front of me. Let me just turn this camera around. And you can see there's the little shrub, or the tree in the water there, surrounded by all these aspens. It's just stunning. So Jeremy and I have been kind of wandering around looking for comps, and it's a little bit overwhelming here actually, because there's so much potential. Getting around is a little tricky. I've decided just to wear my running shoes and get my feet wet, but the water is glacial cold, so your feet do get a bit numb. But this composition here that we found is really lovely. I'll just turn the camera around so you can see it. So as you can see, we have the beautiful turquoise water again, but we have this little branch sticking out with the yellow. And what I really love about this scene is the little branch, but also the color in the background reflected in the water there. And then of course we just have the white trunks of the trees. So it's a very simple image, and I think I might make it into kind of a pano. We'll see how it goes. So while I'm waiting for the wind to die down just a little bit, I'll show you my composition. And as you can see, we have the beautiful turquoise blue, and then this contrasting yellow branch sticking out of the water. And then of course we have all of the trunks of these white aspen. And then I thought I'd try a vertical here, and whoops, I have the yellow at the top here. So I've got some horizontals with just the yellow in here and the turquoise water and the bottom of the trunks, and of course that lovely reflection in the background. And then these, I thought this was balanced out a bit more with the top bit here. I think it works both ways. Like many of the images throughout this series of videos from the Canadian Rockies, one of the biggest challenges was dealing with the constant wind in this area. For this image, I really wanted that single branch poking out of the water to be sharp, but I also really wanted to slow the shutter speed down so that I could smooth out the water. So what I ended up having to do was take one exposure for the water, and then another exposure at a faster shutter speed for the branch sticking out of the water, and then I combined the two. It was a little trickier than you would imagine, because the water behind the image that is sharp is slightly different than the smoothed out water. But I think I pulled it off pretty good, and I did this technique with a lot of the images because I really did prefer the slower shutter speed for the water to get rid of those reflections. So Jeremy, tell us a little bit about your platform there and why you're using it, other than not to get your feet wet.
Well, because the water is about 3 degrees, and if you get your feet wet, then you're not walking for the rest of the day. It's so cold. So got a platform just to stay out of the water. That simple. Got to get close enough to the subject, you know. I'd like to be a little closer, but if I had 2 of these, that'd be perfect.
Thanks again to Squarespace for sponsoring this week's video. If you're in the market for a professional looking website, then look no further. Squarespace has some of the classiest website designs that I've come across. A Squarespace website is easy to set up and intuitive to use. Squarespace's all-in-one platform is an exceptional choice for photographers wanting to showcase their masterpieces to the world and also sell their services and products. Want a free trial? Head over to squarespace.com and give it a go. And if you like it, use the code AdamGibbs for 10% off your first purchase. That's right. Go to squarespace.com/AdamGibbs for 10% off your first purchase.
Right,
I thought I'd do something a little bit different tonight instead of freezing my feet off, because yeah, Jeremy's over there, he's waded in and he can't feel his feet either. The fall color is spectacular, and we've been waiting for the sun to go down behind a peak over here, but there's some clouds that have moved in as well, so it's really toned down that light. But what I really love about this is of course the vibrant yellow, but also the shadow of the mountain here is quite blue, so we get that really great contrast between the yellows and the blues. And then in the bottom here, I think it's some kind of willow, I'm not sure, but it has a kind of a silvery blue color, so everything really goes together nicely. So I'm just taking a close-up of the trunks here, vertical, with all the color splashed around it. It just looks spectacular. As you can see, I've just placed the trees right in the center, and then we have this beautiful yellow color in the center, and there's a little bit of orange in the top, but it has that beautiful contrast with the blue. And at the bottom here you get a bit of that silvery foliage at the bottom. So yeah, it's just a beautiful scene, and I'm sure it will translate just wonderfully on this camera. Once again, I want to thank you for watching this week's video. Just before I leave you this week, I just wanted to announce that I still have a number of Quiet Light books still available, and I also have a Quiet Light 2021 calendar. If you're interested in the calendar, I have a number of images that are older images, 4x5 film images, and also photographs that I've taken recently. So go check it out at kozubooks.com, where you'll find all the information that you need to order either one of those items. Thanks ever so much, everybody. Until next week. Bye-bye.